The Vanishing Cat on Haunting of Route 13. On a moonlit night, the Johnson family embarked on a long drive to visit their relatives in the countryside. Little did they know that their journey would take a chilling turn down a road of terror and the unknown. As the car cruised down Route 13, the darkness seemed to swallow the winding road. Suddenly, a black cat darted across the path, and before the driver could react, the inevitable collision occurred. The car jolted, and the eerie silence hung heavily in the air. Shaken, the driver stopped the car, anxiously getting out to inspect the damage. The family huddled together, hoping the cat had somehow survived, but all they found was a trail of blood leading to a nearby bush, no sign of the cat's lifeless body. Disturbed, but assuming the cat had managed to escape, they continued their journey, putting the unsettling incident behind them. However, fate had other plans in store for them. As they drove further, they were met with a dense fog that obscured their view. An unsettling chill filled the car, and they could hear faint whispers that seemed to surround them. The driver braced himself, trying to stay focused on the road. Then, like a ghostly apparition, the black cat emerged from the mist, standing motionless in front of the car. The driver hit the brakes, but the cat didn't flinch. Instead, its eyes glowed an eerie shade of green, seemingly penetrating their souls. The family gasped in disbelief, unable to comprehend what they were witnessing. Suddenly, the cat began to transform before their eyes. Its form flickered, and in an instant, it became an ethereal, ghostly figure. Frozen in fear, they watched as the ghostly cat seemed to float towards the car. Its spectral form was surrounded by an eerie glow, and it let out an otherworldly wail that sent shivers down their spines. As the haunting cries echoed through the night, the family could feel an inexplicable presence enveloping them. Panic consumed them, and they desperately tried to reverse the car, but the wheels seemed stuck in place. The apparition spoke, its voice filled with sorrow and malice. "You cannot escape the curse of Route 13, it hissed. The driver's heart pounded in his chest as the ghostly cat vanished into thin air. With the fog slowly lifting, the family felt a sense of dread unlike anything they had experienced before. They knew they had encountered something beyond their understanding, a malevolent force that lurked in the shadows of the road. From that night onwards, the Johnson family vowed never to travel down Route 13 again. The haunting encounter remained etched in their memories, a reminder of the supernatural terrors that could be lurking just beyond the veil of reality. The haunting of Route 13 became a chilling legend, whispered among those who dared to venture into the unknown, forever haunting the dark corners of their minds. Lost in the shadows, 5 friends embarked on a road trip, eager for adventure and thrills. Little did they know that a wrong turn would lead them into the heart of darkness, where fear and terror lurked in the shadows. As night descended, exhaustion overtook the group, and they decided to rest on a deserted road surrounded by a dense forest. Each one settled into their makeshift beds, the car providing some sense of safety in the unfamiliar territory. In the dead of night, one of the friends stirred awake. Feeling uneasy, they peered out into the darkness, trying to make sense of their surroundings. Their heart pounded in their chest, sensing an eerie presence that permeated the air. Their flashlight in hand, they aimed its beam towards a tree where a peculiar shadow caught their eye. It seemed like an ordinary silhouette, resembling a bush swaying in the breeze. But something felt off, and the friend kept their gaze fixed on the enigmatic figure. To their horror, the shadow shifted suddenly, moving behind the tree with unnatural grace. Fear gripped them as they realized it wasn't a mere trick of the light or a natural occurrence. Panic took over, and they turned off the flashlight, hoping to remain unnoticed in the darkness. With their heart racing and mind racing with terrifying possibilities, they pulled their sweater over their head, seeking refuge from the unknown. The woods seemed to close in around them, and they felt an overwhelming sense of being watched. The night stretched on endlessly, the friend paralyzed with fear. The silence was interrupted only by their own ragged breaths and the rustling of leaves in the wind. They dared not move, hoping that whatever lurked in the shadows wouldn't notice their presence. The first light of dawn finally broke, bringing a glimmer of hope. As the sun's rays pierced through the trees, the friend felt a sense of relief washing over them. Gathering their courage, they waited until the safety of daylight before speaking a word about their chilling encounter. Back on the road, the friend remained haunted by the memory of the mysterious figure in the woods. Unable to shake the fear that had consumed them, they kept their experience to themselves, unsure if the others would believe their tale. From that day on, a shadow seemed to hang over their friendships, a reminder of the inexplicable terrors that awaited them in the darkness. As they continued their journey, they couldn't help but wonder what malevolent force had lurked in the woods that night, and if they had truly escaped its clutches. The Haunting Road. On a moonless night, the couple embarked on a late-night drive home after attending a movie, the wife still under the influence of alcohol. The deserted roads led them into an unknown direction, leaving them lost and disoriented. Suddenly, a pair of bright headlights appeared in the distance, illuminating the road ahead. The husband's demeanor shifted from relaxation to sheer terror as he let out horrifying screams that pierced the silence of the night. The wife, startled awake, tried to make sense of the situation, her heart pounding in her chest. As she focused on the source of her husband's fear, her blood ran cold. The headlights belonged to an old, decrepit truck, but it appeared to distort and twist in the darkness, emanating an aura of malevolence. Unable to comprehend the inexplicable sight before them, the couple felt trapped in a nightmarish limo, as if time itself had come to a standstill. The flickering headlights seemed to draw them into an abyss of terror, filling their minds with haunting images of sinister entities lurking in the shadows. In a desperate attempt to escape, the husband accelerated the car, but the haunting truck remained right behind them, its presence unyielding. As they approached a desolate stretch of road, an overwhelming sense of dread engulfed the wife, sensing a malevolent force watching and waiting. The headlights of the truck intensified, casting an eerie glow that distorted reality around them. In an instant, the car was enveloped in darkness, as if they had entered a realm beyond the ordinary world. The wife's fear reached its peak, and her sanity began to slip away. She felt an otherworldly presence, like a cold, bony finger creeping up her spine, leaving her paralyzed with terror. Then, in a horrifying moment, the wife's heart stopped, her life snuffed out by the overwhelming fear that had consumed her. Her lifeless body remained seated beside her husband, her eyes wide open in perpetual terror. Unaware of his wife's fate, the husband continued driving, haunted by the horrifying encounter. It was only when he finally glanced over to reassure her that he saw her lifeless form, a vision etched into his memory forever. Haunted by guilt and grief, the husband returned home, forever burdened by the nightmarish encounter. He kept the dreadful secret to himself, unable to share the chilling truth with anyone. Even now, the husband is haunted by never-ending nightmares, reliving the scary experience. The flickering headlights of the haunted truck keep haunting him, reminding him of the evil things hiding in the darkness, ready to snatch anyone who dares to venture into the unknown night.